Hey yo, what is up my dudes? Today I have a different style video for you, not one that I've ever done on my channel, but as you guys know, recently I haven't been posting as much as I want to, just because collection log, RNG, and everything just makes it so hard to make videos. So I'm going to try to do some different styles of videos, and today I want to try a tier list video. Specifically, we're going to be looking at the minigames which are in the collection log. So the duel arena, get the fuck out of here, bud. You ain't even in the game. And we're going to be starting from the oldest minigames to the most recent minigames. So let's see which one's the best and which one's the worst. Let's rank them. Alright, so the first minigame that we're going to be taking a look at is Fishing Trawler, which this minigame was added to RuneScape in July of 2003. Now, I know this is everyone's favorite minigame at one point in their life because this is where you get that amazing fishing outfit that everyone goes dumb dry on, so they had to change the drop rate and the length of the minigame to make it less painful to play, I guess. It's still painful by far because I have to go for that second set soon, and I really don't want to do it just to fill that costume room. Really don't want to do it. So I'm going to be putting the Fishing Trawler minigame in... let's give that a C tier. Let's start off a little generous. We can always change later, but Fishing Trawler, it needs an update that you're not just clicking in one spot the entire time. Alright, the next minigame on our list here to look at is Brimhaven Agility. This minigame came out in July of 2004 and has not seen much love since then. Most people that use it now are collection log completionists going for the Brimhaven collection log, and also UIM Verf on his Karamja only Iron Man. So there's not much traffic here at all. In my opinion, this isn't a minigame at all, it's just a training method for agility, and I'm pretty sure that's what Jagex did when they created this minigame. So it's just a trick to make you do agility because, well, I guess agility back then sucked ass. It didn't have rooftop agility, so you just did different training methods as minigames to train it. I don't know. I'm gonna put Brimhaven Agility F tier because it's not a minigame. It's not. It's just a training method. Alright, so the next minigame that we're going to be taking a look at is Shades of Mort'ton. Recently, this minigame has been given an update. It's been shown some love. You know, they've added a new shade to kill, brand new keys, which can give you the brand new prayer outfit, which is pretty cool. Also, they've just made it look better too. Like, it's gotten a graphical update too. Doesn't look as super old as it used to, and that makes it better. It has gotten better. However, this minigame is basically a buyable, right? It's basically a buyable. You can buy the logs, you can buy the sacred oil, you can buy the remains. If they could make that untradeable stuff and make it actually so you have to go and play the minigame if you want the prayer outfit, that would make this game better, and it would make it so there's more people doing the minigame to get that prayer outfit because they want that extra bonus XP. I say that, but however, if we look back at my, I guess you could say, luck with this minigame, I'd still be getting that sacred oil to go use on the remains that I would have to go and collect as well. But I think that would actually make the minigame better. There'd be more people playing it, there'd be more people, you know, to get the sacred oil with, so you're not trying to solo it or do it with people who are doing the quest, right? So with that, I'm gonna give Shades of Mort'ton a D, but if they could update it to make it so it's not a buyable, I think I would make it a B or like a high C kind of area. In my opinion, that would make this minigame way better. So yeah, I think if they just updated it on that side of the minigame, it would be much better. Alright, the next minigame that we're going to take a look at is Castle Wars. Now, Castle Wars was added back in December of 2004, and back then it was a smash hit minigame. Everyone loved playing Castle Wars back then. However, we're not going to look at Castle Wars from back then, because this is now and that was then. And right now, Castle Wars is kind of a ghost town. No one really plays Castle Wars anymore, and those who do, there is a community of really shitty people who just make the game impossible for the other team to win. And that's why you see a lot of collection log completionists make an alt so that they can just go on their own world and do it that way. Yeah, that's not really the point. It's not the point of the minigame to just AFK it the entire time. However, that's really the only way for collection log completionists to get a sustainable ticket per hour. Yeah, would I like to actually play Castle Wars the way it is? Yeah, that would be kind of cool. However, it just makes my tickets per hour go way down, and it's just not worth that time investment if I want to try to get those videos out. Now, they need to fix the problems with Castle Wars before I can even give it like a decent rating, because right now it's just filled with shitty people just making the game basically impossible to play. And that just makes that minigame no fun in my opinion. So my hottest take here, Castle Wars, it's a fat D. Now if they could fix it, yeah, that'd be an A tier game. Easy, but Castle Wars is just kind of dead content. Sorry. Alright, next up, Rogue's Den. Rogue's Den was added to the game in June of 2005. Now, I luckily did Rogue's Den when I was already 99 thieving and mid 90s, I guess, of agility, so it was a easy grind for me. It only took me like 20 minutes to actually complete this entire minigame. However, I heard with lower stats, it's kind of shitty. However, I wish there's certain things you can do with this minigame that would have made it so much better. Like if you could just do the same kind of obstacles to kind of dodge around like you do in the Hallowed Sepulchre. Yeah, we're gonna call it Sepulchre. That would probably make this minigame way better. So you actually have to dodge things and not just do the same little circle every time to try to get to the end. I think it would be cool. That could make that minigame cool, more fun, and also if they could actually add, say, not other rewards that you, like are in the collection log, but like maybe add something that's worth some value so you could keep doing it, or you could just keep it as a minigame that once you get the outfit, you never touched again. Either way, I think my experience with Rogue's Den was actually quite well, and I'm gonna give Rogue's Den, where is it? There it is. I'm gonna give it a B because I actually really enjoyed that one. But you may not agree, but your opinion's wrong. All right? I like the Rogue's Den minigame. It was fun. I wish they would add, just maybe make a little bit of a moneymaker from it, but that's just my opinion. Alright, next up is every Iron Man's least favorite minigame to do once they get the Kodai butt plug from raids. MTA, which was introduced into the game in January of 06. Now, I did not really mind MTA too much on my way to completing this collection log. However, I do agree that this minigame should be updated to make it so it's less, I don't know, I just think it's a little outdated. The whole minigame just seems outdated to me. They recently did some, I say recently, but it was like probably like 3 years ago, they tried to do something with it to make it less painful. But it's still, it just feels old every time you go in. It needs a facelift or something to just make it less painful. I think this whole video is just kind of me just being like, every minigame needs a facelift if they want people to do it. But no matter what you do, people are going to always do Mage Training Arena because, well, Iron Men always want the Master Wand or the Eternal Boots once they get to Cerberus, right? If they could just make it less painful, that'd be cool. But no matter what you do, Mage Training Arena will always be a used minigame. No matter what, people will always do it. Even if you do it for a moneymaker, like buying the boots and just selling them, or buying the wand and selling it, it's always going to be used. However, it'll just be botted a lot. Nothing you can do there, really. Now, Mage Training Arena, I think for me is going to be like, I don't want to give it a D because like it's not bad, it just needs to be worked on. It just needs to look better, maybe function a little easier. Right? Like the alchemy room, by far my least favorite room. Worst room in the entire thing. I don't know how you can fix these other, like the individual rooms, but I think it just needs to get worked on. We'll give it a C. It's not the worst minigame, it just needs, it needs love. Alright, we're heading to the Swamp Man's lair himself. We're going to the best minigame that Swamp Man has probably ever done in his life. Temple trekking. I bet he loved his entire time doing this minigame. As well as me. I loved this minigame. It was great. Temple trekking wasn't bad. It's still fun. You still can make money from it. But just going for the woodcutting outfit, it takes like half an hour. It's not even that long of a minigame if you want to get the outfit. Right? It's a good minigame. Takes a lot of quests to get there, however, so that kind of sucks, but it's a good minigame that I think isn't bad. I don't know what else to say to it. I wouldn't do, 25,000 runs of temple trekking, but, you know, if I was on an Iron Man, that's probably where I'd go to get some easy XP, if you know what I'm saying. And with that, temple trekking, that's an easy B for me, guys. Easy B. It's a good minigame. Doesn't need to be updated at all. It's awesome. Now, what would you say if I said you could get some of the best range armor in the game and you don't have to go kill Kriara for it? Would you do it? Yeah, you probably would. Now, that's where we come into Pest Control. April of 2006, Pest Control was released, and that's when you probably started hearing a lot of people saying close the gate and kill the spinners. Well, if you were the guy who'd never closed the gate, fuck you, dude. You suck, alright? Close the goddamn gate next time. Stop letting those fucking creatures in and killing the Void Knight. It's not hard. Now, jokes aside, Pest Control is, it's not a good time, especially if you're on like the novice boat. Even if you're on the expert boat, it's bad. It's just bad. I think they need to make a Grandmaster boat where like you have to be like 120 combat plus to get on, and only people who are good can go there. But then again, if you're 120 combat, you're not using Void. You're not using Void at all. Unless you're going to Theater of Blood, you ain't using it. Now, there's nothing wrong with Pest Control. It's a long grind playing with a lot of people who kind of just also hate the grind that you're doing. The whole minigame itself, it's not bad. Pest Control is just gonna, it's a C. You're gonna see a lot of C's in this video because there's just a lot of minigames that aren't bad but aren't good, and they're just kind of middle of the pack. And you're also gonna see probably a lot of D's too, because there's a lot of games that just fucking suck in this game. Yeah, that's just my opinion. Pest Control isn't the worst, but it's also not the best. Alright, you guys want to see a ghost town? Let's go all the way out to Trouble Brewing. Trouble Brewing is a game that was introduced in July of 2006, and It requires a ton of quests just to be able to play. And yeah, it's kind of just a dead minigame that people only do once just for the diary requirement and never come back. So once again, this was another minigame where collection log completionists have to have their alt ready to go and play there, because there ain't no way you're gonna find enough people to play a normal game. And then the solo, like the way you get, I guess, not points, but like pieces of 8 at the end of the game, you just fill water buckets and put them in the hopper and don't touch anything else. If you actually play the game how it's meant to be done, like actually making rum, it sucks. I did it a few times when I was going for the completionist part of Trouble Brewing, and it was just not, it's not easy. It's not an easy mini game to do. Definitely, if you're gonna do it, do the solo, just fill it up with water buckets and then just chill. By far the easiest way to get all the outfits and everything for it. It's not fun, especially because no one does Trouble Brewing. This is definitely one where they should lower the game time and then just, that's it. Just lower the game time. Don't make the points any lower or anything. Just make the games quicker. It's not a good time. And with that, Trouble Brewing, Fat D. Just because it's just so painful to do. It's just not, it's not good. All right, we're gonna take a look at a minigame you've probably never even heard of, Gnome Restaurant. Now, Gnome Restaurant is a minigame where you basically are a skip the dishes driver for gnomes around Gielinor. It's actually kind of fun, especially when you actually make the food yourself. It's not a bad time. This is actually, it's a good mini game. It's where you get like the famous gnome goggles or the gnome scarf. Awesome mini game. I love this one. First A. I love this mini game. It was great. I wish they would add more items to it so I could play it again, but sadly no. Next up is the final game from the original 2007 game of RuneScape, Barbarian Assault. Now, a lot of people don't like this minigame because getting teams together, people leaving at wave 10, when you know you're almost done, you just need to kill the queen so you can just never have to come back and get your torso. I don't agree with those people. At first, when I first played this minigame, yeah, when you're finding a shitty team, yeah, this game, it's hard. It's not good with people who don't really know how to do each role. But when you find people who do know their roles and you know your roles, it's a great minigame. If you thought my hottest take was Castle Wars, you're gonna love this. Yeah, S tier minigame. Mwah, best minigame. Now that we're done looking at the old minigames of RuneScape, let's see what Jagex has made recently for minigames for old school. First up is going to be Tithe Farm. Woo, Tithe Farm. It's not a good start to the new minigames. Tithe Farm originally had like this massive fucking square in the map, right? And it was just so big because I guess they thought like a bunch of people were going to do it for the farming outfit. Nah, no one was playing this minigame because it's not good. I wouldn't, this is another minigame that I wouldn't consider being a minigame. I would just call this one just another farming like method. If you don't want to like wait for trees to grow or anything, you could just come do Tithe Farm and just get XP that way. I don't consider this one a minigame per se, but it's getting the same treatment as Brimhaven Agility. It's F because I don't consider it a minigame. Alright, next up is PKing's last stand at, holding on to this game. Last Man Standing. It's supposed to be the revival of PKing. Also supposed to be the intro to PKing for noobs like me, so we don't lose a fuck ton of money just trying to learn. It's a minigame that gets me mad. Every time I've tried to play this minigame, which isn't a lot by the way, but every time I'm either dead in 5 seconds because I'm going against like some really fucking good people, or I get a bot right away and then I feel good about myself. I'm like, hell yeah, I'm actually learning, and then I die the next 10 seconds. I think LMS is actually a really good addition to RuneScape. I'm not gonna say it's gonna save the PvP community. I'm not gonna say that at all, but it might help me get better at PKing. So, LMS, yeah, okay, I'll give it A. It's a great quality minigame. It just needs some fine tuning with those bots. That's it. Alright, so we're heading into the final 3 minigames of old school RuneScape, and the next one is the Hallowed Sepulchre. This one, I loved this minigame when it came out. Great time, super like attention grasping, like you needed to fucking focus on this thing or else you're just getting smoked by a fucking arrow, right? I loved this minigame when it came out. Still do, it's still a great minigame. Great moneymaker too, especially if you get the Ring of Endurance. Oof, big money to be made here. It's basically the love child of Rogue's Den and Brimhaven Agility, right? Because you got the dodging aspect from Rogue's Den, and you also have the agility training from Brimhaven Agility, right? Now, I said those ones were more training methods. However, this one doesn't feel as much of a training method to me. It just actually feels like a minigame. It feels different. It feels more minigame-like, unlike the other ones. So that's why I'm going to give the Hallowed Sepulchre an S tier, because it is clearly the best training minigame out there, especially for agility. It's so fun, and it's actually decent money. So that's why S tier. All right, and we got ourselves a quick one here. Mahogany Homes. Not a minigame. F tier. It's just training. It's just a cheap version of construction. Not a minigame. And last, but not the least, Soul Wars. Soul Wars. I could think of one thing to say. A reskin of Castle Wars. It's not good. It's just as, I guess, corrupt as Castle Wars is now. It's a little bit more popular because there's a pet involved. So it's just as shitty as Castle Wars. It's not a bad minigame. That's just basically a copy paste of an old one that's dead, but they added a pet to make it so you kind of have to do it if you want to collect all the pets. You kind of just have to do this fucking minigame for it. It's not... I hated it. I hate this minigame. I know the pet chance is low, but it's not good. It's not good. Alright, and that's the list. I don't know if you guys agree with it, but if you don't, let me know down below what you think my list actually should be for the minigames of old school RuneScape. And I know this is a little different from the normal content that I post, but if you guys did enjoy, let me know what you guys did like about it and what I could do to do better next time. Also, if you do have different ideas of what I could do between collection log videos, let me know down below and I will give them a try if I enjoy it. Now with that, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video very soon. Peace out, my dudes. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.